I want to bring in Tal Heinrich. She's an Israeli journalist and the former spokesperson for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Tal, it's so good to see you. So you were working for Prime Minister Netanyahu when the previous ceasefire agreement that was negotiated under President Biden, what was different this time around?
Thank you for having me on, Vlad. Very good to see you as well. You see, we also had a ceasefire in place before October 7th, 2023. What's different now is that Israelis will no longer accept a fake sense of calm and quiet. We're not naive about it. Not anymore. Our security is not something that we take for granted. And I can tell you what Israelis want to see next happening in Gaza. We want to see Hamas disarming, relinquishing power. We want to see the Trump plan, the Trump deal in its entirety, the full 20 points being carried out thoroughly. And we have trust in our leadership and your leadership, President Trump, that they will see it through. Because without that, and without the first clause, by the way, that was mentioned in this interview, the first point in the plan is the de-radicalization of the Palestinian society in Gaza. Without that, Vlad, I can guarantee that you and I are just going to have this conversation once again, maybe a few years down the road, a few months down the road, because Palestinian children, as long as they learn that they have no hope in life since there is a Jewish state and that they should aspire to kill Jews and kidnap another baby Kfir Bibas, well, we have no hope. Something has to change, and there is a big opportunity right now.
So, Tal, I want to play a little bit more of that interview with Tony and the Prime Minister about what a future in Gaza could look like. Let's take a listen.
Take me into the future. Paint me a picture of when this is over. What will it take for you to say it's done and we've won?
Well, I think that for the foreseeable future, not only for Israel, but for the free world and for the civilized world, you have to maintain your ability to defend yourself, because freedom is not permanent, nor is it automatic. If you cannot defend free societies, they will be overtaken by authoritarian or totalitarian regimes. There's no other way.
So, Tal, also in that interview, Tony asked the Prime Minister about a possible two-state solution, and I'm sure you've seen the portion of that interview where the PM explains that ultimately Israelis would like to see some level of sovereignty for the Palestinian territories, but not one that would threaten the existence of the State of Israel. So who do you see, for example, as a viable option? The Palestinian Authority is known in recent years to have grown corrupt, but during the 2 years since the horrific attack on October 7th, they were able to maintain some level of control and discipline in the West Bank. I know that they're seen by some Palestinians as illegitimate, but isn't it better than following Hamas, which has led to the destruction of so many lives over the course of these 2 years?
Vlad, to answer your question, let me just bring up that just last week, the IDF, the Israeli military, thwarted a shipment from Iran in the so-called West Bank with rockets, with anti-tank missiles, with weapons. There are terror elements there who are already trying to plan the next October 7th massacre. The reason why they're not able or weren't able to do so is because Israel has some overriding security access over there to make sure that they can't rearm and regroup the same way Hamas did in Gaza. So October 7th didn't happen because the Palestinians didn't have a state. It's because they did have a state. In fact, they sort of have two states, failing ones, terror ones. We can't allow that. What the Prime Minister said, this notion that the Palestinians down the road should have all of the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers that could threaten Israel, it's something that he said before October 7th. And I'm pretty certain that most Israelis stand behind it, more so after October 7th. So it's a transitional period with this deal that we have in place right now. We see it as a huge opportunity. And during it, we want to see the involvement of moderate Arab states where their own societies went under certain processes of de-radicalization, gradually taking over as per the Trump plan. And we'll see, we'll take it from there. There are elements in Gaza, and I'm sure you've seen these horrific videos. There are Palestinians who are trying to resist Hamas rule, but if you've seen these mass public executions that Hamas are now just shooting in the streets, Palestinians who resist them in those areas where they go back to and try to reestablish their rule. That's of course not what we want to see. We want to see a different Gaza. We want to see a Palestinian society that can exist alongside Israel and not instead of a Jewish state.
And we have seen those videos, and we've actually showed them on CBS News, and they are absolutely horrific. And to your point, these are people who seemingly seem to be, they are hopeful and in some cases attempting to get rid of Hamas themselves. They've seen what's happened over the last 2 years, but they're caught in the middle. For those people, those families in Gaza who have no choice, and I say that only because when you see videos like that, where you see masked men in the streets with, Kalashnikovs putting bullets in the back of the heads of people who are seemingly resisting their terroristic rule, what is your message to those folks who are caught in the middle and say, we don't want this, but we also don't want to be attacked by the Israelis either?
That pretty soon they're going to have a big opportunity with a commitment from Israel, from the United States, from various Muslim Arab states who are also involved in this plan, as you saw just over the last 2 days when President Trump was in the Middle East. They're going to have a big opportunity. Just hang in there, and Hamas will be no more. This is what we promised ourselves, and we also promised it to them. We need to have a better future in the region, and we know that there are committed people on the other side that are also dedicated to this idea.
Tal Heinrich, it's always great to talk with you. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vlad.